Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming to my channel and for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Melissa and I am a nursing student. So in my last video, I talked about why I chose to attend Chamberlain University for my BSN program. If you haven't seen that video, you can go to my channel and check it out. I will also probably put the link in the description because I don't know how to do like the fancy thing where I put the link on the actual video. But anyway, I talked about why I chose to attend Chamberlain, and towards the end of the video, I mentioned how even though I'm new to the program, I've only been in the program for a couple of months, I really love it and it works really great for my lifestyle and I love the way that it's structured. And I mentioned that I was going to make a pros and cons video about Chamberlain because even though I love it, I could see how it really wouldn't be a good fit for a lot of people. And even me, if I was in a different phase in my life or just in a totally different situation, I wouldn't like the way that Chamberlain's set up. So I figured that I would make a pros and cons video of what the pros and cons are of the school so far. I'm new to the program, so it's possible that maybe a year from now or a few months from now, I might make another pros and cons video once I learn more about it. But so far, this is my interpretation of the school and the program and what the good parts about it are and the bad parts about it are. To be honest, I think that most of the things, even on my cons list, are good, but all of this is subjective. So I might put something in the pros column that you see as a con and vice versa. There may be something that I wrote down as a con and you actually think it's a good thing. So it all just depends on you and your lifestyle and what you are into. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So the first pro, and this is definitely the biggest pro that I have, is that they offer a night and weekend option for nursing school for the BSN program. So I cannot speak for every campus throughout the country for Chamberlain, but this whole video I'm going to be speaking specifically for the Tysons Corner campus because that's the only campus that I know about. That's the one that I attend, but my campus offers an evening and weekend option. So if you have a full-time job or if you have responsibilities during the daytime and you're not able to attend class and go to clinicals during the day, you can sign up for the evening and weekend option. So all of my classes are in the evening, and then eventually when I do clinicals, my clinicals are going to be during the weekends. So I believe it's going to be either Saturday or Sunday, and they will work with my schedule from what I've heard from other students. This is a huge pro for me because I work a full-time job, typical like 8:30 to 5 o'clock hours. So for me, I would have to quit my job and take something very part-time or take something night shift if I wanted to go to nursing school. And that was something that I struggled with. And then I found out that Chamberlain has the evening and weekend option, and it's amazing because everybody in my cohort is doing the evening and weekend option. So when I log into my classes in the evening, most people are just getting off of work. Some people are still at work in their offices doing the program, and it just feels really good to not be alone. Also, if you see something furry running around, it's not a rat. I have a little dog. She's a Shih Tzu, so she's tiny, and she's probably gonna be running around throughout the video. So the biggest con that I see for Chamberlain is that it is not a traditional college experience or a traditional undergrad experience. So if you haven't seen my previous videos or you don't know, this is my third degree that I'm going for. Even though it's a bachelor's degree, I have a bachelor's degree in another field unrelated. So for my first undergraduate degree, my first bachelor's degree, I got to live on campus, have roommates, I got to go to sporting events, go to parties, and I pretty much had the traditional college experience that you see on TV and in the movies. And I did get to make lifelong friends just because I had that bond of going to the library with my friends, meeting people in the dorms, going to parties, stuff like that. If those are things that you are interested in doing in college, or if that is important to you, then this is a major con. Chamberlain is very academically focused. It's a commuter school, so you're not going to be living on campus and living in the dorms. You're going to be driving to campus to go to classes, and then you're going to be driving back home. Or if you are doing an online option right now with COVID, right now a lot of classes are online because of COVID, then you will be doing whatever you want to do during the day. And then in the evenings, if you do the evening option, you will be logging in, going to class, and logging out, and that's it. So a pro of Chamberlain, and this might be a temporary pro and it might just be for the Tyson's Corner campus, but gen eds are offered online. So this is all because of COVID. I know that all campuses throughout the nation at one point within the last year moved to online gen eds. So you would go to online lectures if you had lectures, or you would watch recorded lectures and you could do it from the comfort of your own home, from your laptop. So I know some campuses have stopped doing that within the last couple of months. They've returned to campus, but at least for the Tyson's Corner campus, right now we are still virtual. So people are going to clinicals in person, of course, and I think that people are doing certain labs in person, but if you're taking like anatomy and physiology, biology, English, any gen ed before the actual nursing courses are offered online. So again, for you, this might be a con if you prefer to be in the classroom to learn. If you're like me and you do well with an online learning structure, then this is definitely a pro for you. So like I said, I work all day and then I get to come home, shower, eat dinner, and then I can get comfortable and be on my laptop and attend class. So for me, that's a pro. I don't have to commute in traffic through DC and Northern Virginia for an hour just to sit in class. I get to be at home with my family, which is really nice. So the bad side of this, the con, is that there is less of a community. So if you look online, if you listen to other students, they'll still say that there's a large sense of community at Chamberlain. And this kind of ties into my first con of like the non-traditional college experience. I'm gonna be completely honest with you and not just tell you what you wanna hear or tell you what the school wants you to hear. There really is not a sense of community. Like I text and message my classmates and we're a part of group discussions online, but it's really not the same as being on campus and getting to know people and getting to meet people. So again, this might be a pro for you if you were just looking to get your degree and get out. But if you are somebody who is really social and you're really looking for school to be an avenue where you can be social and meet people, then it's going to be a con because there really is not a large sense of community. There aren't a lot of clubs you can join. There are no sporting events that you can go to or anything like that. Another con about Chamberlain, and I think every con I've been saying, I'm like, this is the biggest con, but this is actually something that I see as a con and everyone will probably see as a con, but it is really expensive, like really expensive. Chamberlain is it's a university. It's not like a state college or community college. It is a university and it is a private school. So it is expensive. Chamberlain's program, if you are doing the entire program, all of your classes with Chamberlain, the nursing program that is, like you don't go to community college to get any of your gen eds out of the way. So the full cost of the program for, at least for my campus, for Tyson's Corner, is around $90,000. So if you add up tax and interest and God knows what else you pay for, we can honestly probably round that up to just say, essentially, you're paying $100,000 for a bachelor's degree, for a nursing degree really, which is kind of ridiculous and kind of crazy. But no judgment, like I don't judge people that sign up for the program. I'm in the program paying a lot of money. If you are able to afford it, then this may not be a con for you, but you can definitely go to another school or get a nursing degree in other ways than to spend almost 6 figures on a degree. A pro of the program is that you can enter into the program with credits. So you can enter into the program with transfer credits. Chamberlain does accept transfer credits. So if you want to go to community college or go to a different school and knock some of the gen eds out of the way, you can significantly decrease the cost of the program. Another thing that you do, and a pro of the program, is that you can test out of most gen ed courses. So there are a couple of English classes that you have to take for the program. Let's say you don't think that you need it or you don't want to do it and you don't feel like going to community college to take that course and go through a whole semester of English. You have the option of spending $30 and taking an exam to test out of the course. And once you test out of the course, you don't get a grade, so it won't affect your GPA, but you will meet the requirement, like you'll meet the course credit requirement, and you won't have to take that course throughout the program. You won't have to pay for that course. You only have to pay the $30 to test out of it, and it'll end up on your transcript as completed. So that's a really great option, and that's something that I don't know if that's new, but at least when I was going for my undergrad and last year when I was doing my master's program, that was not an option that I heard of. So I think that that is unique to Chamberlain, and it's definitely a pro. So a con of the program is that even though they give you the option to test out of certain courses, certain gen ed courses, they make it very difficult for you to test out of these courses. So pretty much just really quickly going over the setup of testing out of a course. It's basically in a way that you're kind of sitting for a final exam without taking the course, without getting a syllabus for the course, and without getting a study guide. So for example, when I tried to test out of sociology, all I knew was that it was Sociology 185. I didn't know what topics they covered in the course. I didn't know the themes of the course. It was really just me going into an exam blind. You can go online and try to look at Quizlets, but if you just type in Sociology 185 or English 147 or whatever course you want to test out of, there's nothing online that I found that's specific to Chamberlain. So it's kind of a shot in the dark. You can go online and randomly study certain topics that you think might be on the exam, but there's really no guarantee that you're going to study the right thing and that you're going to be able to pass. Another thing is that they don't let you know your score. So for sociology, when I tried to test out of it a couple weeks ago, I was just told that I failed the exam and I'm going to have to take the course. They didn't let me know what my score was. They didn't let me know what topics I did well on the exam. It was literally just me going into a random test blindly, failing it, and not knowing why I failed it or by how much I failed it. So a pro of the program is that you are only going to be taking 2 to 3 courses at a time. I entered the program with a bunch of credits. I knocked out a lot of my gen eds, even though I still have a lot more gen eds to take. I entered in with a fair amount of credits knocked out. So for me, I'm only ever going to be taking 1 to 2 classes at a time, which I think is a plus because that way you never have too large of a workload at once. And that's just the way that Chamberlain is structured. If you want me to make a longer video on the structure of Chamberlain, please let me know. I think that I briefly touched on it in previous videos, but just in short, basically, each semester is 16 weeks, a traditional semester, but what Chamberlain does is they break the semester into 2 sessions. So they split the semester in half. So for 8 weeks, you will be taking half of your courses at an accelerated rate, at double the rate. And then for the next 8 weeks, you will be taking your remaining classes for that semester, again, at an accelerated rate. So they do that, I'm assuming, so that you don't have a large course load at any one particular point in time. For me, that is a huge pro, and I think that that's a pro for anybody, again, that has other stuff in their life going on, whether it's kids or another job or just other obligations, because in any given week, you're not going to have 4 or 5 papers to turn in. You're not going to have 4 or 5 midterms. At the most, you're going to have 2 major papers or 2 major assignments or 2 exams for your 2 courses. And then the next 8 weeks, it'll be the same thing. So over the course of 16 weeks, you will still have 4 midterms, 4 finals, 4 big assignments, but they won't be overlapping all at once. So that's definitely a pro in my opinion. So the con with this is that, again, you're taking courses at double the speed. So even though you will not have an extremely large workload at one particular time or at one given time, you will still be expected to do all of your work for 16 weeks in an 8-week period. So it's very fast paced, it's very accelerated, and it's something that you're gonna have to stay on top of. So in a nutshell, so far, I'm only a few months into the program. These are the pros and cons that I have figured out about Chamberlain. Like I said, even though I listed everything as a pro and con, for me, everything is a pro except for the money, the cost of the program, just because the cost is so expensive. But it really just depends on what you're looking for. So just to summarize everything really quickly, if you're somebody who is great at teaching themselves online, if you're somebody who doesn't mind fast-paced, if you're somebody who might have other obligations going on in life and you're just looking to get your degree really quickly and get out, you're not looking to make friends or be super involved in school and be super social, then in my opinion, Chamberlain is an amazing program for you. It's strictly academic. It's amazing for people who are just looking to get their degree and get to work. If you are looking for a traditional college experience, if you're looking for more socialization, you're looking to make friends and lifelong partnerships and bonds, then Chamberlain might not be the place for you. It's very academic, it's very fast-paced, and so far from what I've seen, everyone else in my cohort is kind of the same mindset as me. Most people are a little bit older in life, they have other things to do, they're just looking to sign into class, do their work, get their A, and get out. So hopefully this helps you if you are kind of on the fence or you want to learn more about Chamberlain. If you are still interested, I suggest that you go to the website and get in contact with an advisor, because that's the first thing that I did. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up so that I know to make more content like this. If you have any questions for me, or if there's anything that you thought that I didn't go over, please comment down below, and I will see you in my next video.